Hi, Cliff Crawford, Better Homes and Garden Real Estate Universal. Today I have Matthew Moss here. He's going to explain to us some things about the temporary buy downs right now. Matt, what do you have?
All right, so I'm Matt Moss with GFL Capital Mortgage here in town. And with a temporary buy down, there's a few different options that you have. You have a 3-2-1 buy down, a 2-1 buy down, a 1-1 buy down, and a 1-0 buy down. So what exactly that is, for example, if you have a qualifying interest rate of 6% on a 3-2-1 buy down, the first year your interest rate would effectively be 3%. The second year your interest rate is going to be 4%. The third year, your interest rate is going to be 5%, and then years 4 through 30, if that's a 30-year mortgage, you're going to be looking at 6% is what you're going to be looking at. So this is not an adjustable rate mortgage; it's just a temporary buy down. So you qualify off the original note, and then, for example, if rates do end up coming down, and you end up refinancing, that money, you don't lose out on any of that money. Any money that's left over on that temporary buy down, that gets applied towards a principal reduction when you go to refinance if rates do drop.
What's it going to cost? Is it going to cost the buyer or the seller to set up this program?
So it's going to be a seller concession. There's also, you can do it as a loan level pricing adjustment, but typically it's going to be a seller concession that does that.
Okay, do you have any idea what that's going to cost the seller?
So for example, if it's going to be, the $500 a month in payment reduction over that year at $6,000, you'd be looking at a $6,000 concession is what you'd be looking at.
So we'd be basically asking the seller to pay the $6,000.
Exactly, yes. It's a great program for people who are rate sensitive, and if they're looking to get in at a lower introductory rate essentially, and that payment would gradually go up depending on what specific program that you go into.
Does it go up to the current interest rate now, or does it go up to the 6% you're talking about?
So it's going to be, if it's a 3-2-1, a 2-1, or whatever the program is. So if it's a 3-2-1, it'd go to the original interest rate after that third year is what it would be. If it's going to be a 1-0 buy down, that would be go to the effective interest rate after that first year.
We've been talking about the temporary buy downs, and I appreciate all your information, but I know we talk in realtor jargon. Maybe we need to bring this down to what the consumer will understand. So could you explain that to me in layman's terms?
Yeah. So for example, a 3-2-1 buy down, what that means is that the buyer, they're going to have a lower temporary interest rate for 3 years. So it's going to be 3% lower the first year, 2% lower the second year, 1% lower the third year, and then it's going to be at the qualifying rate for years 4 through the end of the term. So for example, how much they can save is going to be, it's going to depend on the loan amount and various factors. But for example, let's say they're saving $500 a month for the first year. So that's going to be $6,000 total for that first year. Let's say they're saving $400 a month for that second year. It's going to be a total of $4,800 for that second year. And the third year, let's say they're saving $300 a month. So it's going to be $3,600 over that third year. So what they're saving for a total over those 3 years is going to be roughly, $14,400 is what they would save. And the way that you can qualify for that is you can get seller concessions. So the seller would actually pay for that. But it's just a way for the buyer to ease into the interest rate when they're in a higher rate environment.
Okay, so it's not a balloon payment. It's just going to come up with is it the prevailing interest rate at the end of the loan, or is it the interest rate for today?
It's going to be the interest rate that it's going to be at today, and it's what they qualify. So that it's not going to be like an ARM or anything like that. They qualify off, let's say the interest rate's at 6% is what we're able to give them. So they qualify off that 6% rate. They don't qualify off those temporary lower rates.
Okay, let me ask you, man, what if the interest rates should go down in that 4 years? What if they go down to, say, 3% next year?
So the way that would work is, if they decided to refinance, they could definitely do that. And then if whatever money that they have left over that they haven't used up, that would get put into the form of a principal reduction on their loan when they go to refinance. So they don't lose out on any of that money. It helps lessen the payment and that kind of shock when they're going from, if it may be renting to owning, but just allow them to also, buy furniture, things like that. So they have, just a lower payment.
Especially for the first-time home.
Exactly.
Is this mostly made for the first-time home buyer?
It can be for everybody. It's primarily for primary purchases, though. So you're not really going to find that for investment properties.
Okay.
So if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to walk you through it.
Good. All right, Matt. Well, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.